Hello and welcome. This is Hari Kumar with Insights. As Lok Sabha polls in India are nearing, the opposition India Alliance has started raising stridently a demand for caste-wise census in India. Certain parties in the opposition alliance have gone a step further. They have demanded caste-wise distribution of national resources and further stretching of existing job reservation quota on the basis of findings of the new caste census. Will the new caste census offer a panacea for all the social ills that occur in India? Or will they spark a caste riot which was common in 1980s and 1990s in states like Bihar and parts of Uttar Pradesh? Let us discuss with a cool head and a straight mind. It is true that for the first time in, say, in last 7-8 years, the opposition has been able to throw a challenge to the BJP, which has been on a roller coaster ride under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This is a very potent weapon. The opposition ruled North Indian state of Bihar has already set the tone for the campaign in the coming Lok Sabha polls by releasing the data of a caste census which was done earlier. Before starting the discussion, let us agree that caste is a reality in India. And it is also true that there have been and there is still, to some extent, discrimination based on caste in India, like elsewhere in the world. For example, in the West, the discrimination is based on color, which is a phenomenon we get by birth. In Central Asia and the Middle East, there is discrimination based on tribe to which one belongs, which is also based on birth. And there have been efforts in all parts of the world to obliterate the effects of one's birth on one's social life and fortunes. In India also, the makers of our constitution thought likewise, and they suggested job reservations. Remember, job reservations were meant for just 10 years initially. This suggestion was made by a team of experts including Baba Saheb Ambedkar. And initially the reservation was confined to scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. However, in the coming years, this was stretched beyond imagination, beyond all logic. Initially, while the job reservation was confined to scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, later other backward communities, other eligible groups like OECs, they all found a place in the list of reservations, which was hugely expanded by Vishwanath Pratap Singh when he accepted or implemented the Mandal Commission report. Now, what will be the impact of a new caste census and stretching job quotas beyond limits and without any time limits? Now everybody thinks that, or it is an accepted fact in India that reservations should continue for eternity. Though nobody uses the word eternity, nobody dares to suggest a time limit. Even though Bharatiya Janata Party opposes such a reservation for eternity, even they cannot suggest a time limit for ending the present reservations. So what will be the the immediate fallout will be strengthening the caste identity in India. Instead of trying to obliterate the caste identity, the caste census will entrench the caste in the minds of more than 140 crore Indians. This is going to deal a death blow to nationalism in India. Because people are going to think that we are getting benefits on the basis of our caste. This will strengthen caste brotherhood. This is going to strengthen the Khap panchayats. Intercaste marriages are going to become unthinkable in the coming days. I don't think initially it is going to spark a caste war. However, the outlook of people is going to change forever if caste census is held and national resources are distributed on the basis of the demography. We have seen in the past many communities which are considered to be landowning communities, many communities which have the numerical strength, have found a way to nudge into the reservation quotas. Now the benefits of reservations are being enjoyed by middle caste or even upper caste. Now remember that even based on the economy there is quota. So quotas have become the norm. And further stretching the quotas will be absolute negation of merit in the society, which is detrimental to the national progress in the coming days. The change in the society or the power change has already happened all over India, even in states like Bihar and Uttar Pradesh, where it is propagated by the left liberals that Brahmin hegemony or upper caste hegemony exists. No Brahmin could become a chief minister. Look at the statistics, the political power with whom political power rests in Bihar or Uttar Pradesh. It is with the Yadav community and the other backward castes. Now, for whatever reason, scheduled castes are being considered for top positions in India. So the change of power has already happened. If you come down south, in Tamil Nadu, it has happened. In Kerala or in Karnataka, it is very difficult for somebody who is born in Brahmin community or Kshatriya community to become the chief minister. So we see that certain degree of parity has already happened in the society. So this really questions the need for a new caste census and caste-wise distribution of resources. Instead of efforts to obliterate caste, so what is going to happen? The coming days you will see that the impact of this idea of population-wise distribution of resources or population-wise distribution of power is going to create a new problems in India's politics. And the very concept of the nationhood is going to be questioned by certain groups. Because you find that minorities can legitimately be denied power, minorities can be legitimately using legal clauses can be denied certain rights. So this is going to be open. This is going to open a Pandora's box. It is going to be a slippery slope. One problem is going to lead to another problem. For example, the demand for delimitation or the creation of new constituencies is going to become strident after this. It means the number of Lok Sabha seats or assembly seats in central and northern Indian states are going to increase exponentially, and the power is going to be entirely rested in the hands of members from North India and central India. If the idea of distribution of power according to demography becomes a reality, we are going to find that South Indian states will be underrepresented and the voice of South India won't be heard in the national government. So this is going to unlock a host of demons. Nobody will be able to lock them up. I don't think those who demand the caste census or caste-wise distribution or population-wise distribution of resources have deliberately raised this demand. But the fallout or inadvertent outcome is going to be against the nation. So my point is caste census and the idea of distribution of resources according to demography is going to unleash chaos in the country. It would be wise if those who raise the demand thought about the different dimensions of the fallout of the demand. I am sure that if they realize it, they will realize that eventually it is going to backfire. Now, if it is legally right to distribute resources on the basis of population, every caste in India is going to try to raise their numbers. So, a country with more than 140 crore people who are suffocating under population explosion because of the overuse of national resources, now it is going to find very difficult to convince people on the need for population or birth control. This is going to be a Frankenstein Unleashed. Eventually it would gobble those who raise the demand. You see, Vishwanath Pratap Singh, who wanted to gain political mileage out of Mandal Commission, eventually got lost in his own creation. He didn't gain any political mileage, he lost power, and nobody remembers him now. The positive effects of Mandal were reaped by people like Lalu Prasad Yadav and Mulayam Singh Yadav, and even they lost when the most backward communities regrouped. So, those people who want to gain, those people who imagine that they are going to gain out of the caste census need to realize that in a later stage it is going to be not just caste, even subcaste will come into play. So this is going to be a very chaotic situation, and those who demand caste-wise census need to think twice before pressing their demands. That is all for now. Meet you with another issue next time. Till then, goodbye and namaskar.